Hey, this is Mr. Poggio, and this is your Module 5. That's what's up. Video instructions. So if you go to your Schoology, you can see I have everything by day. So a little bit of a week at a glance. A reminder that nothing on Monday because of Labor Day. Tuesday, you have a discussion post by 2 p.m., which is talking about and sharing your animal inquiry video questions and challenges from that project. Wednesday, we have class, of course. The animal inquiry video is due no later than Wednesday. So hopefully Tuesday, when you guys share your video and talk about your challenges, you guys can help each other out and collaborate. Make sure on Wednesday, we're going to talk about an introduction slide. So we're actually going to have 2 discussions this week because Thursday you'll also have your discussion, but it'll be a brand new one, and that's just sharing a little bit about you. So we're taking a bit of a time to reflect and relax this week and get to know each other, continue that community building. And then Friday you have an hour of code task, and you're going to submit your certificate of completion. I have all the information in your Bitmoji classroom there as well, with some couple quotes from Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg about coding. If you go down to Module 5, again, everything that I just discussed is going to be in your Module 5. I'll give that a second as that loads. But you'll have your instructions for the week. I'll go through those quickly. You'll have your Google Slides. There is your discussion that's due today, Tuesday, the 8th of September by 2 p.m., and that's all about your animal inquiry project. You'll have your discussion for Thursday. Again, a second discussion, which is only about introducing yourself and just getting to know each other. And then your hour of code completion certificate. You're not doing anything in that document, just submitting the completion certificate you get from Hour of Code. So again, if you click right here, this will take you to your document for the week. And if it looks familiar, that's because it should. Sorry, 1 second. Let me slide up. But it should, because it's literally the same thing. And our learning objective is pretty much, and make sure you read through this document, but wrapping up our SD Zoo project, making an introduction slide of you for our discussion Thursday, and Hour of Code. Links to the document and slides are there too, even though they're already on Schoology. Here's more specific on those discussions. I even give you links to them in Schoology, so you're not lost. But again, it's all in Schoology under Module 5. Your assignments and assessments. You could see assignments 4.4 and 4.5 have carried over from last week's module, Module 4. They're both due by Wednesday, tomorrow, September 9th. Only 5.4 and 5.5 are new assignments, and 5.4 is your intro slide, and 5.5 is Hour of Code, which we just discussed. So again, you could see more information, all those here. And I also have this all on Google Slides when we go through class. You do not have a new weekly reflection. Again, there's no new reflection because of the shortened week. So I just put down Module 4s again in case you didn't do it last week. And here's what is going to be graded from, I guess you could say, carrying over from last week and this week. And also, if you check the very bottom, I have student examples of work. So if you want to know what work looked like for Module 2, 3, or 4 for all of our tasks, they are right there. So to get to our slides, again, I want to help you guys out with a couple things. I'm going to kind of go backwards and say, here's your Google Slides for the week. Again, these are in Schoology. But in case you need slides from Module 4, I want you guys to know how to graph. So I'm going to go over graphing and screencastifying. And I just added those slides again. Here they are here. Slide 13, which is about graphing in Google Sheets. Slide 14, which is Screencastify, which is what I'm doing right now for this video. And of course, the blank slide, where you can copy it and use this slide to help you out with your video. So again, I'm going to go quick, but this is a catch-up week. Kind of take a breather. It's a shortened week. We're focusing on the San Diego Wild Animal Zoo Observation Video Inquiry Project, and of course the discussion about it. Reminder, late work, it's going to be 20% off, and if you're ever, well, this week is the last time I won't do it. Next week I'll be taking 20% off. We're already on week 6 next week. However, if you're ever submitting late work, you must email me. Don't expect me to go back to old modules. That's not fair. But of course, I accept late work, but just make sure you email me, whether it's a link to the assignment or whether it is a screenshot of a submission. But in general, what to expect every week, you'll always have a week at a glance, which is that Google Doc I just showed, and you'll always have slides. And in general, if you haven't noticed yet, I have the same weekly theme. If you go down to numbers 1 through 4 here, I usually have 1 or 2 homework tasks. That could be like your ed puzzle, your CER, your data compilation from last week. Those are kind of the assignments to help you out with your performance tasks. So number 3 is your performance task, and that's kind of the bigger project. That was your Flipgrid video presentation from week 2, your nature observation hike from week 3, and last week, and again this week, the San Diego Zoo scientific inquiry video. So those assignments help you with your performance task. Your discussions are Tuesday, Thursday. You must post by 2 p.m. And we have a weekly reflection. It is the same every week, and this is how all of our weeks will be organized. Again, I have everything graded all the way up to Module 3. Module 4, which is last week's work. Remember, you're turning that all in by tomorrow, Wednesday the 9th. Here's those examples of student work. So if you are like, hey, what does it look like? You can always check out the student work. All that student work is right here as examples. Video for the week, that's what I'm doing right now. You'll see that link here shortly. And here's your discussion. Again, one on Tuesday is about your project, and the second one Thursday is just about your introduction slide to you. I gave you an example. This is my introduction slide. So I know mine's a bit busy. It has a lot of links and information. Yours could be anything you want. It's just about introducing you. There's not much instructions on this, and you may have already done one from another class. You could use that and maybe enhance it, make it better, but just make a slide and share it in our discussion. Here's the same information on Hour of Code. Here's what's being graded this week in Aries. And again, lucky you guys, there's no reflection this week. And again, those reflections are focused on those soft skills, which are the 5 C's, how you're being creative, critically thinking, how you're collaborating, and the totality of the 5 C's when it comes to our learning objective for the week. So I want to show you guys how to graph. So I'm going to go to, again, your assignment that has to do with your data compilation. I have the student example right here, and I just want to show you how to graph. Now, of course, it was very important you write a good comparative question. This student wanted to know if hippos spend more time in the water or out of the water, and I think they paired shade with in water and sun with being out of water. They gave their hypothesis. They thought they'd spend about 50% of the time in the water, 50% in the on land. You could see my examples too. I gave you my examples throughout this whole document. But if you want to graph, what you're going to want to do is, again, I have a video, but you can check this out here. You're going to want to left click under minutes, and you're going to want to take all 3 columns. So every minute, remember, it looks like minute 1, there were 3 hippos in the water and 3 in land or on land. But you're going to want to take all of your 30 minutes, and then you're going to want to, don't use the total, just 30 minutes. Again, this is the very bottom was the totals of all the minutes of the hippos on land and in water, and that's how they calculated numbers 4 and 5 by calculating the total 123 minutes in water divided by the total minutes, 199, to get 62%. But if you're going to want to graph, once you've highlighted all 3 columns, you're going to hit Insert, and you're going to hit Chart. And it will automatically produce a graph for you. So it would look just like that. Now, if you click on the little buttons in the top right here, it will get you to your chart editor. You could delete it or edit it. You may notice I already have the chart editor up here on the right. And you could change it to, let's say you want to make it a line graph. You change it to a line graph. That's not my style. I prefer the bar graph. But you could change your chart to a number of different options right here. I think bar graph's one of the best ones. But again, it's up to you and how you want to display your data. Just make sure the independent variable of minutes is on the bottom and the dependent variable of your number species on the right. And you may notice I don't have it labeled. And you could label that pretty easy. Just right-click on your chart and hit Chart Titles and Axes. And I'm going to go to the vertical, which represents my y-axis, which in this case is going to be the number of hippos. So under Title, I'm just going to put number of hippos, and you should see that automatically, if I could type hippos correctly, you should see that automatically populate right there on the, I still can't spell hippos, sorry, it's a little small. You should see that populate right there, still can't spell hippos. West. It should populate right there on your dependent variable on this side. And you might want to differentiate in your legend. So blue is going to be, in this case, hippos in the water. So if you double click on it, you can actually change the color and the legend. So that represents water. You do the same thing for red, which is on land. But this is a great example of your data. And just make sure you include that data at the bottom. This was the second time I did the graph, but you could see it in the example here at the bottom as well. And you could actually copy this. So I want to show you is how you're going to make a copy of this. So if you hit the three little dots up there, you could hit copy chart. So now it's copied to my clipboard. And what I want you to do is make sure you go to your drive. And if you haven't already done so, I want you to make a folder and drive that says Science Mr. Poggio, or period 2 if you have me period 2, or period 3 Science if you have me period 3. But you're going to see your Google Drive could get really, really, really busy. And I want to make sure you have a folder. So you can see I just made a folder that's titled Mr. Poggio Science. And and I'd like you to do the same, of course. And I opened an assignment for right here. If you go to new and you click Google Slides, open a brand new one right here that says name period. Obviously put your name in period, and the San Diego Zoo Animal Observation Inquiry Project. So this is what you're going to make your video with. And when you make your video, excuse me, that's how you're going to screencastify your video. You're going to want to make sure to take the sample slide that I gave you. So you could take mine or you can make your own. Remember, this is in Module 4 slides and Module 5. But you could literally just right-click on the left-hand side and hit copy. And then you could go to your Google slide and you could right-click and hit paste. And it will automatically paste the slide that I have, the practice slide that I gave for you. And if you remember right, when we went to your data compilation, if you clicked on your actual graph, you could click on these three little buttons and you could hit copy chart, and you could actually copy your chart directly in here. Now I already did one already, but again, this is just to show you guys. So if I hit paste, it will automatically populate the chart and it will link it to your spreadsheet as well, just like that. So there's one way to get your chart inside of your Google slide presentation. Again, you're going to want to include your data. So there's an example of how to include your data. Make sure you size everything. Make sure you add pictures, your comparative question, observational challenges, all that good stuff. And maybe include a GIF if you could figure that out. You could just go to insert images and do a URL from Giphy and you could put a GIF in. But make sure to include your conclusion, which includes your percent that you've quantified for your comparative questions. And lastly, you're going to Screencastify, which is what I'm doing now. So you're going to go to Screencastify, make sure to it'll say something like add extension. You're going to add that extension, and this little piece up here on the right, this is your puzzle piece that controls all your extensions. You're going to want to make sure your puzzle piece is pinned. So if you haven't, you're going to want to click on this pen, and that pen right there is what puts your Screencastify right up there with all your other Google extensions. Well, I'm just about done. So if I click on this Screencastify, I could end it, or I could end it by clicking on my movable tab here. But that's everything for you guys for this week, Module 5. I hope that helps. This is your video cheat sheet. Make sure you get me that San Diego Zoo video link presentation, and you're going to want to do that. And I want to show you how you share links one time really quick. So one last thing, you're going to share your link the same way. Once you have your video, or in this case, your Google sheet of your data compilation, you're going to go to share in the top right, and you're going to see this area that says get link. What you're going to want to do is hit change, and under where it says anyone with link, you'll have the option of AUHSD or restricted. Can you hit anyone with link? That will allow anybody from the San Diego Zoo to be able to access your video and data sheet as well. And if you go back to your slide, I could show you how all you have to do, since I copied that link, if you want to link, which I asked you to do, link your data sheet to your slide, you're going to just hover over or go over your link data that you want to link or your words, right click and then hit on link, and then you're going to hit paste, and you'll see instantly once you apply it, now it'll change color. And if you click on sheet right here, you could actually see the hippo sheet that we were just talking about with the examples. And you're going to do the same thing here. Once you make your video, you're going to go to share and make sure your video link says view all, and that's what you're going to submit in Schoology. So I hope that helps. Again, This is your Module 5 instruction for the week. This is what your Module 5 looks like. And if you go to Schoology, there's your breakdown for the week. And if you have any questions, please email me. This is Mr. Poggio, and that's what's up for Module 5. See you guys. Have a good day.